Good evening, everyone. Oh my gosh, there's way more people than that. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. You guys know I'm a preacher, so call and response works. So once again, for those who weren't here earlier, I would like to thank you all for coming here this evening on my behalf. I do not take it lightly, the sacrifices that people have made. All of those who have contributed behind the scenes, all of those who changed their plans to just come through Atlanta really quick, those who never traveled to the South Side came this way today. I am more than appreciative. A lot of people have asked me questions as to how this moment occurred, and I'll share a little bit of that. When I was in high school, God told me that He had put it on the inside of me to write a book about some of the things that I've experienced and learned. And so I started to just kind of type it up, but this is before the age of Dropbox and all of the amazing technologies that we have, and so the computer was old and it crashed. And I lost my motivation to write a book. I always loved writing. If you know me, especially from college and in graduate school, then you know people would, and still do, send me their essays, different things like that to review because I love the art of literature. And when I was re-inspired to write, I decided that I wanted to do it, but I wanted to do it God's way. But I was so unsettled where I was in Los Angeles that I couldn't find the time. There was not enough hours in the day because I would wake up, go to work all day. By the time I would get off, it would be nighttime, and then you know how it is, the cycle continues. And then January of 2017, I was moved to part-time position at my job in Los Angeles. So that means that 40 plus hours a week shifted to about 20 to 24. I was crushed because I moved my life across the country to work, and I didn't understand why I was moved to part-time so long. But in that, if you know me, I don't work well being idle. I always find something to do. And what's interesting is that when I went through the writing program, my deposit was paid in December. Because I said because I knew I was busy and I probably wouldn't have time to start to write until April. In January is when I was moved to part-time. So God will open a door regardless of where you think your future is headed. As I continued to write the process, I was discouraged, thinking about my life experiences, what I learned, what I gained, and wondered if it really mattered. Wondered if it really mattered to me, if what my experiences were, if they could speak to others. Then God showed me, He said, you've always been an encourager. You've always been a motivator. This is what I told you to do. You do what I tell you to do, and I'll take care of the rest. So that is my message for you all this evening, is no matter where you are in life, no matter your age, your disability or different ability, you do what God tells you to do when He says it. Because He told me to write a long time ago, and I stopped. So He created a way for me to write with no excuse. Many of us in this room have talents that are sitting behind closed doors, that are scrolling on endless websites and social medias. Many of us waste our energy involved in meaningless activities, social gatherings, doing nothing, drinking, and etc. And etc. And etc. Whatever the etc. is for you, if you are full aware that it does not line up with God's purpose in your life, then you need to adjust it. Not for me, I had to adjust it, so I did. It's still a work in progress. Like I said, I am saved, but I still struggle. I love Jesus. I am grateful that He continues to breathe life into me each day. I'm humbled by my experiences and my opportunities, but it's still a challenge for me to go to Bible study. It's still a challenge for me to go through a devotional plan. It's still a challenge for me to set goals for myself and attain them. I still struggle with that, and I know for a fact I'm saved. I know for a fact I deposit into God's people. And if it's a struggle for me, and you're not in that area or whatever type of pedestal that you may have placed me on, it's difficult for you for the same reason. The enemy, he is very real and he is very present. It's not a scare tactic, it's the honest to God truth. And the enemy does not mind you not doing what God told you to do. So if you're coasting right now, if you're chilling, if you like where perhaps your accounts sit and you're settling where you are, the devil likes you in that area. He appreciates you being comfortable where you are so that you don't push forward, so that you don't strive, so that you can be saved and not necessarily know that you're struggling. Salvation is not pretty. The end result is, but the work in it is very difficult. For those of you who've already purchased your books, or for those of you who will, there's a section in there where I talk about where I understood and why I understood and how I understood the fact that I have to go through so much because of the calling that's on my life. And that my compassion for others have grown because of my life's difficulties. My diagnosis, my procedures, my emotions, my anxiety. They're real. And I know if they're real for me, they're real for you all as well. But in that, in whatever that season is, in whatever that place is, the Bible says that you aren't to grow weary in doing good.
All right.
For in due season you will reap if you faint not. And I learned that scripture in high school. And it made my life make sense. That although I felt challenged in a lot of ways, although dealing with low self-esteem, wanting to be accepted, not understanding what my role was in life, not understanding why I could never fit in as a child. Now I'm glad I don't. I used to be in a place where I would go and be above and beyond to maintain my friendships with people. I'll never do that again. Unless God tells me to. There are many of my friends in this room that I've known since I was in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, graduate school, and even in Los Angeles. And understanding what true friendship is something that I do not take for granted. I believe and I know for a fact I have the strongest support system. And for that I am grateful. For that I am in awe of how God works. I've seen my circle shift. I've seen people fall, but the amount of people that's added outweigh every person that I've lost with their generosity, their kindness, their honesty, and even answering my FaceTime calls, whatever time they may be. This project is not something that I did on my own. There are several people that helped. The first of which I would like to acknowledge, she's not present, but her name is Jerica. She made the initial investment into this project. She believed in me, and I told her that I was struggling. I had just moved into a new apartment, so there was no money for me to finance it, and she paid for me to write my book.
All right.
And like I said, when God tells you to do something, He will make a way for you not to make excuses. He will make a way. And once I started writing this project, there part of me that, let me just say this, anybody that knows me knows that I am very private. I don't like to share my business, not necessarily so I can hide it, but I don't believe in speaking things out to others until they have come to fruition. But God showed me and has continuously showed me that there has to be pockets of people that are interceding on my behalf, specifically for what I'm dealing with. And Melanie Williams, can you come up here, please? Outside of Jerica, who invested, and outside of my other friend, Eddie, who's back there in the back, who will be coming up here in a moment, Melanie Williams was the first official person that I told about my project. She kept my secret, and I'm grateful. I don't tell people anything, but God gave me clarity that I could share this with you. So thank you. Eddie Watts and Taylor Eberhardt, please. Taylor was the second person that I told. Taylor and I have been literally friends since the day we met. I know that we're both crybabies, so I won't tear you up here, but I love you. And this is Eddie. As I know we are approaching short on time, there are a few names that I will call and just come to see me later for your presence. But before I do that, can someone please bring my mother to me?
Where's your mom at?
Hi, Mom. Listen, you guys, I told my mother in December that I just wanted to make a surprise announcement to my friends and my family, understanding that I moved across the country and I don't get a chance to see those that have been with me, help raise me, teach me, take me to cheerleading practice, dance camp, pageant, who knows what else. And I told my mom I wanted to have something super small and simple and quiet, just a few friends and family, but if you know my mother, you know that it's not an option to do anything small. So I am bringing you up here to say thank you publicly. You know that we deal with a lot privately, struggling and just different things that we experience, but your daughter is grateful for the woman that you made me. You taught me to speak up for myself. You taught me that I could do anything. You taught me that no matter what, I had a mother who supported me. I can only remember one game that you ever missed that I cheered at. I don't remember you missing one pageant, not even a practice. And I know that it breaks your heart when you can't see me up close in Los Angeles, but you're still there. The reason you felt so much love when you visited me last month is because everyone that I encounter knows that I love my mother. So this is for you. You can open it now. You can open it later. You can do what you will. It's up to you. It's a lot of stuff. We like to match, so I got her a secret too. And because I know she's proud, she got another color. And if you know me, you know I cannot. And we we also like to smell good, so I got our favorite perfume. I said I was going to call the names, but I'm full of tears and I need a sip of water. So thank you all for coming. Enjoy your food. Once I clean my face, I am more than happy to take pictures and continue signing books. Thank you all. God bless you.